you to be exactly who you are. Soul ties, soul tribes, solutions, and soul infusions. Come join us as we overstand and undo the divinities that have been placed amongst us on this very land. So, what can you expect? Crown checks, temperature checks, microphone checks. Wait till you see what's next. Welcome, Soul Sister.
Whoa, did I really get that face? Good Lord. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. What's good, Solutionaries? We are here. I'm gonna wait for a second. All right, so here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our executive producer for handling that part. What's up? Friday night? What is it? 7:12? I guess this feedback is should I talk slower? Um, or 8:12? 8:11? What's today's date? Today is 8:11 and it's 7:02. What's good? I will wait. I will wait. I will wait. We can always wait until we get it right, so we can always be on point for you. Cause the feedback, can you hear that feedback? If you can hear that feedback, just give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. This is the problem, about going live. One of those things, one of those technical things. It's like when we try to be authentic in ourselves and when we are doing our best. Okay, are we good? I think we are perfect. I no longer hear myself. I hope that the feedback is the I think I continue to hear myself. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Solutionaries. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm here. You guys miss my face? I missed you guys. Um, it has been a week. I have had blessings upon blessings. Those that know the blessings that have been bestowed upon I this week. Blessed. Blessed to be living in my purpose, walking in the direction in which I want to walk in. Right? I have a really special guest for you guys. Usually, as you guys know, I'm a pretty private person. I like to keep my seeds close and closed off to my public life. Yet, there's one of my seeds that is here with us tonight. You guys have probably seen the flyer. Everybody was like, "Well, she looks like you. I knew she looked like you." Um, she is my one of yeah, she's my baby. My baby. My baby is here. So let's bring on my baby, Cece. Hi, hi. Thanks for having me, Mom. I'm really honored that you want me on your show. You're so cute. You're so cute. So this is the one that makes the candles.
I do.
What else do you do?
I am a full-time mom.
Oh, you're a full-time mama.
I'm a pharmacy technician,
Mhm.
so I do data entry for Pharmerica. Um, other than that,
You're just a mom?
just a
And
mom.
how old are you?
I'm 22 years old. 22 years young.
I heard that. 22 years young. And the reason why I wanted to have you on the show tonight, love, is first and foremost to kind of be a little more transparent with the world about who my real supporters are and who's in my tight circle. And as my child, and we have some of the best conversations just about everything. Um, I really appreciate the fact, and I want to give you your flowers. Like, you deserve your flowers because you are the bomb.
Thank you.
Coming from your mother, I am very proud to call you my child. Um, so thank you for being here. I know that you don't get very many Fridays off,
I don't.
and you had this Friday off, and you agreed to come onto the show to talk about everything that it is to be a 22-year-old.
Yep.
It's so crazy, 2023. Um, One thing I wanted to get into is how do you function being 22 and a mom? Like, how do you do that?
Well, first off, I wanna say that it takes a great woman to raise a great woman. So your flowers are deserved as well. And, how it functions to be a 22-year-old and a mom, it's hard. I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's hard. It's very difficult wanting to balance having to go to work, having to raise a child, and then also wanting to be young and do what you wanna do.
Mm,
You have to make a lot of sacrifices. And, but I'm okay with that because I understand that it's for the greater good of my son. Maybe I'm missing out on a couple things now, but when he turns 18, I will do whatever I'm pleased to do.
that's funny. So do you actually look at, like, because how old you'll be when he turns 18? How old will you be when he turns
I will
18?
be 38.
What? What? What?
Counting the
Like
years
life is
down.
then gonna begin, huh?
Yeah,
I am mad at you 'cause that's kinda how I thought when I was having children at a young age, is that I looked forward to being like where I am now and having adult children.
right.
Like, there's nothing better than having your daughter pay for your dinner, and nothing better than calling your daughter and be like, "I need X, Y, and Z. Can you help me?" Or there's nothing like having your daughter call you while she's at the grocery store. I'm like, "You need anything?" So I am blessed that I am of this age and I have such a beautiful, well-rounded child.
Right,
Even
it's a
though,
full circle.
so I wonder, I know that we shouldn't regret the things that we do, but would you have changed having a child at a young age?
Definitely, definitely. If I knew what I knew today, I would have chose to wait and do the things so-called right way, but, I didn't do it that way, but I'm so blessed to be in the position I am because a lot of moms don't get the opportunities that I got, you know? And I'm just so blessed to be financially stable, to be able to take care of my son on my own. I mean, his dad does a great job of taking care of him as well, mostly on my own. I can't com
Can't
I can't
complain.
complain. Honestly, I don't know if I would be as successful without him to drive me to do what I do.
Right. Are you sure about that? You've already always been a driven
I
child.
have,
So,
that's true,
I
that's true.
mean, you remember you were the person that was do you want to tell the world what career and how you got into that police academy? What career did you go and tell people that you were gonna
So,
do?
from, like, the age of, like, what was I, like, 5th grade?
Yeah, something
4th,
like
5th
that.
grade? I was telling people that I wanted to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, and I kind of followed somewhat to the healthcare profession, but I did not make it to be a surgeon.
You still have time.
I
Honestly,
definitely
you
still have
still have
time.
time.
Definitely
You
still
have a
have
lot of
time.
time to do that, which is beautiful. So how did you choose your career now? Like,
Okay, so I picked pharmacy technician, because I wasn't so sure about blood. As much as I was like, "Oh, I wanna be a surgeon," blood kind of didn't do it for
hold on,
me.
aren't you the pimple popper watcher?
I am, I
What's up, Joe?
am, I am,
Oh, it's
but
7:08. Oh, it was 7:08. Okay, okay. Y'all look so much
yeah,
we
this
know,
is my
we
twin.
know,
But
we know. Everybody
thankfully,
says
she
that.
is gorgeous because
I'm gorgeous because 'cause you're gorgeous. I
right?
don't know. I never like you're gorgeous. So, okay, well, that's what's up. So if you're gorgeous, I'm gorgeous. Okay, I like that. You're cute.
Thank I'll
Aw,
try.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, we do favor each other. Actually, if you see my other daughters, we all favor each other. If
Yeah,
you see my sister, we favor each other. Um,
my son looks just like
yeah, my grandson looks just like his uncle, which is crazy.
that's very
We
true.
all you can tell that we're family, which is a beautiful thing.
Our genes are fine.
yeah, I would say
There's nothing that
my
isn't
genes are
strong about
strong.
it.
That's facts. That's facts, and I think that's because, I'm just gonna give myself my kudos is because, of my resiliency
Yes.
and, tenacity just to teach you guys better and to do better. I know that I haven't been the best example of what it is to walk this life a straight line, but I'm glad that I have you.
That's okay, you're
Um,
only human. I tell you that every
I know
day,
you do.
especially being a mom myself, I understand completely.
Which is weird. So let's get into that. Some of the things that you thought that I was doing crazy when you didn't have kids. I wanna hear those things. Like, give me one thing that you feel like you now have a better understanding of what I was
Ooh,
going through
this is a
as
good question. I definitely would have to say about cleaning I would say cleaning the house. Just because I understand now, like, you don't wanna come home to a dirty house, and it's like, if you got a kid just sitting here in your stuff, not doing nothing, it's very frustrating because you're putting in so much effort to give them the life that they have, and I didn't see that when I was young, but now providing for my son, I see it like, you're beyond taken care of.
facts. And you were the baby for so long too,
Yeah.
right? Because you and your sister are 7 years apart.
Yeah.
But you asked for her, right? Let's
Yeah.
just put that on record. You asked for her. That wasn't me.
If you say so, mama.
You asked for that child. You said, "I want a sister." I was like, "Okay, you sure you don't wanna be the baby no more? You're not gonna get this." But, a lot of that probably also was, I think the reason why you stood where you were, 'cause you were in the same position that your sister is in, where you were the last for so
Mhm.
long,
Yeah.
right? And you got everything, like, I remember
I
I
got
had
everything handed to me, and it's really strange that I turned out to be the person that I am, as responsible as I am.
no, I think that makes perfect sense, bro. I really do think it makes perfect sense. You picked up all the good things and ran with them.
Yeah,
Like, you didn't you was like, "Oh, if my sibling's doing this, this is what I should be doing better." You
yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely a lot of trial and error on everybody
Right.
else's part.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah,
you should be giving them kudos.
yeah,
Thank you,
definitely.
siblings. I don't know what you guys are doing with your last one, but that would be helpful if you guys can give her some tidbits of information.
She'll get there.
Oh,
Just
good
needs
lord.
time.
Good lord.
Needs time.
How is that possible, though, at 15? Because remember when you were 15?
Yeah, I was a hot mess.
Don't
I
tell the
was a
world
hot
that.
mess. I will not lie to you. It amazes me every day that I'm in a position that it amazes me because the way I was when I was a teenager was nothing sort of right.
So what got you to be different other than your son? Because I think you made a transformation for your son.
Yeah, I think, I started to realize what was important to me and that I was the only person that was gonna get me places.
Mm.
You know what I mean? As much as you wanna depend on people and depend on friends, you're responsible for your own life.
Right.
That's all that matters. And once you start to look at life through those lenses, it doesn't everything else, all the BS doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
like, I got goals, this is where I need to go, this is what I wanna do. If I wanna travel, this is the job I need to do, this is the bracket I need to be in. You know? You just have goals.
It's just funny that I look at you and, it's not fair that I compare you to other people, but you're my child.
Mhm.
So, I see other people that don't have the drive that you do, and, I just always wonder, like, how I mean, I know as your mother where it comes from, honestly, because this is what you've been seeing, this strong Black woman trait,
Mhm.
right? But, like, how do you just maintain it though, Cease, like, with all the pressures in the world, with social media?
Um, I will tell you, I lose sight of myself a lot of the time, a lot, especially with social media. I think, "Oh, maybe this is what I should be doing. I should be out having my hot girl summer," and I don't sometimes I have to recenter myself and realize what's really important, how I got here, and that's not the way I got.
Right.
So, yeah,
What do you mean you don't be having no hot girl summer?
I I personally really
You
don't.
don't.
I'm really an inside person trying to perfect my craft. Um, I know,
What's your craft?
whose words am I stealing right
What's your craft though?
now? Just, my candles, trying to be a better mom, trying to be a better person. Um,
You have friends?
I have some friends, ish, but I'm really to myself type of person. Outside of my family, outside of you, Kendrick, those are the people that are most important to me. As long as they're taken care of, I don't really care too much.
Oh, so you're committing here online to be taking care of your mom.
She was gonna be taken care of anyway.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I'm gonna hold her hostage to those words. So I can just I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm trying not to let it be so heavy. I don't want it to be so deep. But I do like how when you watch like the BBL, like I mean, I know that how do you not be feel body shamed and like at 22, like the pressures that you guys go through, like it's taken me a lot. And I think that if I was in you guys' position at 22, I probably wouldn't be able to handle what is going on and all the backwardsness that is happening in the world.
One thing I have to say is that it is hard because at the end of the day, I am 22, like, had a baby. My body is going through so many changes, and to look at Instagram and be like, "Hey, I don't look that way," but the way I look is okay.
Mhm.
And I had to take there was a time in my life after Kendrick where I really, really did not like my body. I thought that I needed to be skinny as a pencil. I thought Thank you.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joe
Um,
Perry.
I thought that I had to be a certain way, look a certain way, and I now when I wake up, I love my I love my cheeks. I love it,
Oh, you're
everything.
cute.
Well, yeah, I know, but
You're cute in the most.
it's not the Instagram cute, you know what I mean? So it's kinda hard for you to look at Instagram and then look and be like, "Want to look anything like that. I've got fat here, I've got"
Are we supposed to though look
Yeah,
like
we're supposed to be who
manicured
we are.
Barbies?
Not at
Like,
all.
is that real?
Not at all. Not at all,
Why do
but
you think
that's
so
what
many
we
of us
see.
get caught up in that though? Even I mean, even the girls my age get caught up in it. Why? Why do we women, not even girls, women are my
Because what do
age.
you see when you look the other way? What do you see on Instagram? When you open it, you see Cardi B with BBLs, right? And it's really hard to love yourself because they're making it seem like this is what you have to do in order to be beautiful, and that's not the case whatsoever.
So do you think when women do these alterations, alterations to their bodies, do you think that's a lack of self-love? Like, honestly?
That's a tough question. I think that that could be a component to it. Um, I think that it's sort of a form of brainwashing. You know what I mean? You don't know how to love yourself, especially if you're being this your mom was like that and your grandma was like that, always into their looks. Like if they never taught you how to properly love yourself,
Right.
then it's very easy to think you need a BBL, to think you need facial surgery, to think you need whatever.
Facial surgery? Girls are getting facial surgery?
Like everybody
Or
gets
like
everything.
nose and lips? I
Yeah.
can see the lips, jaws. Wow, that's crazy.
And a lot of women are dying from that. Like,
Right,
a lot of women are dying from
right,
it
right.
just because and I'm all for women if they wanna do what they wanna do with their bodies,
They
but
call it women empowerment at times, right? But it's like
I think that it's the right idea, the wrong product. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Because it's like, if you're gonna tell women to be empowered, it's a real funny way of showing it, saying that we have to wear these clothes, we have to dress this way, we have to wear weaves, we have to wear makeup. No, it's not women empowerment.
right,
That's just loving yourself is woman.
right, the way you wake up, I would say.
Uplifting another woman is woman empowerment. You know
Mhm,
what I mean? Like,
mhm.
you don't need all that. You don't, you really don't.
No. But it's so funny because I think that I was just thinking about it today, and I was like, "Am I proud of the person that I see in the mirror? Am I the person that I want to be?" Um, am I standing in that in my truth?
Right.
Um, and I can say at this point in my life, I am, honestly. But I see how even, in my 40s, I started wearing makeup. But
Mhm.
why, right? All the years I went 20s, no makeup, 30s, no makeup, 40, why now do I feel like I have to be, um just a disclaimer, I'm a lot on camera and photos, so that's why I choose to come out the house with makeup, but I really don't have to,
Right.
right? Like, I could be comfortable in my natural self without having to make myself up, but at 40, why am I not comfortable? So I think I resonate with a lot of the things that, you guys go through
Mhm.
'cause I think it just continues,
It does.
that we just don't have this reassurance that we are okay in who we are
Yeah.
waking up. even if you wake up, with a little bit of makeup on without washing it off, you are okay. You know what I mean? We don't have to continuously, try to be someone else, because I think that makeup is like a shield or a veil, right? Like, because if we take it off, and I've heard a lot of men say this, "Oh, she don't look like that when she takes the makeup off," right? And they be, like, mad about that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So it's just like, I don't know if we lead with our best foot forward and, show that we don't have to have those things. I don't know. I think we do.
I
Like,
think people just need to be more transparent, period. I think in a lot of more relationships, friendships, work, transparent. You trying to cover up the person that you are doesn't allow anybody to really get to know you.
mm,
You know what I mean? So, for you to I feel like I gotta tell you all the time, stop overextending yourself for other people because that's not who you are. It's not what makes you comfortable, so it's not true to you. If you can't be true to you, how do you expect anyone else to be true to you?
facts, facts. That's again going back to those boundaries that I said that I don't even know how I never even developed that before. I just, like, don't set the boundaries and then let something happen, and then I
Mhm.
wanna set a fucking boundary.
No,
Sorry,
I totally
sorry, sorry,
understand
sorry.
that.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, at this age that I'm in now, I'm really trying to understand how to set those boundaries so I'm living in my truth and in my comfort without being annoyed or, bothered by somebody else's actions.
So one thing I would say, especially going as far as relationships, don't overextend yourself. It should be easy. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Right.
It should be like breathing. It should be if there's an altercation, you should be able to come to a compromise. You know
Mhm,
what I mean? It
mhm.
should not be battling.
Right, and this is male and
If you
female,
feel
right?
yes, if you feel like you're battling, it's probably not a good idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it's feeling like it's costing you your mental health, probably not
That's
a good
another
idea.
thing, like, costing you your mental health. How do you even deal with that, like, in relationships, period? Like, for 22-year-old, knowing that you're dating, how do you deal with, like
And it's really hard dating with a child.
how yeah.
One thing I will say is that you have to look out for yourself. And one thing I have learned about dating is that when I come to red flags, I'm such a kind of person that would try to build over it
Mm,
until it makes a bigger issue. When you're dating, you should be building over things. This is the time where you should be looking at this person, "Hmm, can I deal with this?
right.
Hmm, can I not deal with this?" And then you go from there.
But what if
Because
the but what if it's like, you know, you come across a element of somebody and you you're not necessarily bypassing it, you address it, it's being handled, but then it just slips back to the same way, like, they're not really taking charge or taking accountability of what their actions are. How do you, like
so, I mean, I would try to have that conversation with them, but once you get that realization that they're not willing to change for you, then you need to hit the door.
Mhm,
You have to look out for yourself at that point because as much as you wanna be in love, as much as love seems like a beautiful thing, you have to be equal. You have to understand the person, you have to understand what's going on, and you have to put the effort forth.
how do you know that, like how do you know that when it's right for you?
I
You know?
don't.
You haven't
I
found it out.
honestly have no idea yet, and that's just the process of learning. You're 22. I just take the lessons as they come, you know? Everything is not gonna be, Cinderella, and
Right, did you think it
I'm
was?
realizing yes, yes. That's the reason I had a baby at 18.
People get in trouble when they try to change someone. Facts,
Yes,
facts, but
yes,
shouldn't you be able to bring it to the table? Like, and it should be, like you said, easy to compromise, easy to talk out.
but it should be both.
Right.
You cannot, because 'cause I'm the kind of person that I realize that in my relationships, I'm sort of a people pleaser. I
Mhm.
will change my ways to fit you even if I do not personally agree, and
Facts,
that has become a problem,
facts.
you know? So I allow men to come and try to change me, and then when I start to push back, I'm like, "Wait a second, this is not what I want."
Is that a learned behavior? Did you learn that from me?
I don't think so. I think if anything, I probably learned the opposite from you. Because I say that because you in the relationships that I've seen, you don't really let stuff slide. You know what I mean? If something
Mhm.
happens, you're on it. Me, I try not so much combative. I try to
Mm.
just make everything easy, which is okay, yeah, it makes it easy in the time, but I'm not if I continuously am thinking about the situation, it's not over. It hasn't been.
Right, it hasn't been resolved, so
Right.
it's just something that's, like,
I'll just let
building.
it slip away,
Right,
but knowing the behavior hasn't.
right. Not good, sis, not
Not good at
good,
all.
not good.
That's why I'm learning, that's why I'm single now.
I'm single too. I was gonna ask you about your relationship status because I know that my viewers are gonna probably ask me later about my daughter. You better leave her alone. She got a crazy
If you
mama.
don't come correct, don't come at all, please.
She got a crazy mama. She can give you some stories about some things that I've been to get rid of some guys. Um,
That's true. That's very true.
that's because I'm a mama bear. Isn't that what you call me, a mama bear?
Single to
What does single mean to a Black woman today? What does single mean to a 22-year-old?
So for me, I am not seeing anyone at the moment. I have been completely single. I am not dating. I haven't talked to anyone. I am
Why?
um for one, I believe that talking to multiple men kind of disrespects your partner. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like if I was to allow so many men to come over to my space, what does that say to my
No longer
future
a sanctuary, right?
Exactly, and I want that person that I'm with to have that inviting, atmosphere.
Like it's not been like painted.
Exactly.
The bed hasn't been painted.
Exactly. So my thing is I just wanna respect my future partner because I know that one day he will come and he will do everything that I want. And I wanna respect it.
I would agree. I would agree. I think that that is the reason why I've had very few in my presence, because I think that my sanctuary is my sanctuary, right? So the energies that come into my sanctuary are very important.
Right.
So I don't want some flyby
Exactly. That's
guy,
the thing.
somebody that's not invested, somebody that, you know what I mean? To
That's
come
the
into
thing about this
my
generation now. It's everything's a flyby. Why is that? Why is that? Why do we feel
because typically single means you're dating and having sex with others with no label. Is that really what the typical is, Mr. Producer?
personally, I don't have sex outside of being in a relationship. That's just me because I wanna have that connection with the person. Makes it all the better for me. But as far as what other people classify as dating,
But it's
single
funny because I'm sure that he's talking about what it has become, right?
Right, that's
And
what I was
but what does it
getting
mean to be single, single? Do we say single, single? Oh, maybe that's why people say, "I'm single, single."
to. Right.
Does that mean, are you single, single?
Right, like, are you still dealing with someone
Right,
single
I'm
or
single, single.
No, I'm single times 10, like,
Right. I think for a 45-year-old woman, I like that question. What is dating for me?
A joke.
Because I don't honestly, I feel like men don't even date women.
Not
So that's why I have to claim 100% single. Nobody has come into do I have a male friend? Of course I do. Do we have a situationship? Of course. But am I flopping around indifferent? No, because my energy, and that's probably where you got that from. It's just, it's important to me that my space is clear for the one that's coming. It hasn't always been that way though.
Right, I don't want attachments, I do not want to date.
Right, right,
Right.
exactly. And I don't want, my business being out in the streets. Are you dating with intention? Are you dating if you are, what is your intention? That's the problem. I'm not dating. I don't think people out here date. It's the problem. I've told every single man that's approached me, yeah, when am I available? When you ask me out on a date. Right? Because it's important for me to be in a space outside of my home, outside of your car, outside of your home, to build a relationship or a friendship, right? Too often I see even men my age or older or younger for that fact, it's all about, what they can get versus what we could build, right?
Exactly.
And that's why I call myself single, and I'm not even dating with intention. What is dating with intention? Because nobody dates. Everybody is either like, "You jump in the sack
And you get
and
into a
then you get
situation,
in a
right?
situationship, and then you guys aren't in a situation, but you
It's
didn't
too
let this
much.
person all into your realm.
Right.
You're
Too much.
360, right? I cannot. At 45 years old and having 5 babies, I can't do it
Yeah.
anymore, personally for myself. But I would love, when that time is perfect, when I see, like you said, it's gonna be easy for that to come when it's the right person, right? That I'm gonna be asked out on it. That person's gonna take the time to get to know me. So we're working on intentions. But also I've learned, hey T, I definitely date a person. You're funny. Um, um, I definitely I lost my whole thought. Leave me alone, T. What was I talking about?
Talking about dating.
Oh, yeah, I lost my thought train of thought, so we can move forward. At any rate, so tell the brothers what it should look like, and if someone wanted to date, would you end the situationship, or when do you end it? Situationship dating. Of course. See, I'm about agreements. Honestly, like my life at over 40 has been about agreements.
Right.
So I have to we have to have an understanding of what we're doing, right? So I can't even in a situationship. What is this situationship? Are we just having fun? And if that is that, okay, that way that I don't get invested in X, Y, and Z. So when somebody else comes through,
Mhm.
I can entertain that prospect, if you will, and leave the situationship alone. So yeah, it would be to end the situation.
My take on that is I personally don't do situationships. That's just what I don't wanna do it. It's too complicated. It's either you're in or you're out. I don't want there should be no reason why you can't figure out if you wanna be with me or if you don't wanna be with me, if this is fun or not. I don't think that I'm not for fun. I'm not a person that you can just do it.
Facts, I
So
agree.
it's either come correct 110% or don't come at all.
Do you think that's because you're 22 and looking for you feel like you have the years that you want, like you have the years to be married for 50 years?
I think that and the simple fact that I don't need a man to have fun. I can financially provide for myself.
Right.
If you're not coming into my life to make it easier, because I do have a lot of stress on my shoulders. I do not wanna raise a boy or another boy, you know what I
Facts,
mean? So,
facts.
for yeah, so I'm not to play with. I'm
Right.
not. I got too much going on. I have too many things that I wanna do. If you're not gonna help me with that, if you're not gonna be on board with that, this is not gonna be a mission for the both of us, I don't want nothing to do with it.
I agree. See, and that's how I would look at somebody that I really felt like was a prospect. It seems like an age or it seems like in the age role reversal. It is, indeed. It really is. And that's just the day and age I suppose that we're in because I um hey Joe, thank you. Um that's why I can't keep watching because I always lose my train of thought. But I think because I've invested the time already, and at this point in my life, the only thing that I need is what I need, right? And I feel like if somebody did come through that was on point and ready to do the things and build something, that I think I would be ready.
Right.
But because like you said, you don't need anybody, I don't need anything right now. So, if anything, anybody's just like fun. And it's sad because I've been called out like, "Oh, you only want me for X, Y, and Z," and I'm like, "Well, I'm
It's hard
sorry."
to want you for more.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also feel like, oh Lord, just do what you wanna if it feels good to you, do it,
Mhm,
But I also don't feel like you should be tricked into a situation because you feel like you like this man
mhm,
but he has no intention of
mhm.
being with you. That's what I wanna
Right, right,
I would
right,
rather be by myself. I work
right,
so much better by myself. I do so much better. I have a routine by myself.
right.
Don't come and interrupt my peace.
And that's why I always fall back on contracts, like, "Help Confucius. I need what I need." And that's what I mean.
Right.
At this age, I have to say that that's true.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not for playing the game.
Mhm.
So I would rather have a conversation to where we have an understanding of where we fit, Right, that way that my emotions won't get there. I'm not investing myself because I know that this is not going anywhere. But I've heard, the men being upset when the woman chooses to move on from a
Mhm. And I
situationship,
think
right?
that's the
Because they wouldn't
beautiful thing
commit.
about it, is you just being able to
Right, that's
say,
what I
"I'm
say
done.
too.
You're not treating me the way I want to be treated. I am out the door."
Right,
And to leave without any problem,
right.
that is a
That's the
beautiful
and that's exactly where I sit. Like, that's why I feel like, right now, because after 2
right,
marriages
you have to think
and
about it.
right,
You've been with a man
right,
for a really long time. I
right.
can understand you saying that you just want what you want
Right. I can
'cause
also understand that at 22, you're saying, "No, I deserve 50 years of marriage,
right.
right? I deserve for you not to be playing around with my heart."
Mhm.
And it's just funny because now I be feeling like females are more of a pimp than men are.
That's very true, but I just don't wanna be that
Right.
way, I don't wanna say so much the old school love because I'm not an old school one, I work.
What does that mean, the old school woman?
An old school woman is the woman that, puts up with you for 50 years, cooks and cleans, takes home care of the kids. I know I'm not that woman because I have so much more that I wanna do outside my household, um, but I would love to be loved that way for that longevity, you know what I
Mhm,
mean?
mhm.
But, this day and age, you might not get it, and that's
I hope you
okay, but
do.
as long as you don't come and disrupt my peace, I'm fine with that.
Right,
I'm fine with being single as long as you don't come over here and mess.
right. So they definitely a man would definitely have to add value to your existence and
Yes.
not just be a
You have to pour into me,
sore
yes.
a pimple on your
Pour into me the way
nose.
that I pour into him because I
Right.
know I have and that's another reason why I'm being very picky about who I mess with because I know I know I have a lot of resources that I can share,
Mhm,
I
mhm,
have my life set up. I can't afford to take care of a man. I can't afford to be mentally abused by a man. You know
mhm,
what I mean?
mhm,
I have so many people depending on me. I just can't do it. If he's not gonna come 110%, like I said.
How do you feel having such a weight on your shoulders, though? You keep saying you have so many people dependent on you. How does that weight feel?
Personally, not gonna lie, I like it. And I know that's a weird thing to say. I know it's a weird thing to say because I'm stressed all the time, and I'm sure you've heard me yell about how stressed I am, but there's no other way that I would have it but to take care of
So
my family. No other way.
you can take care of
I
us for them.
wouldn't as much as I might have an attitude about it, I always come through for you guys, and that's just the way I wanna be. I don't want you guys to have to look outside when I'm right there, and I've
Mhm.
got it.
Well, you've always been that standing rock in my life, even through my ups and
I
downs,
try.
and my psychologist, that's which I thought you were gonna go to school to be a psychologist
Mama,
because
I'm
you're
still
so
trying to figure
good.
out life.
You're so
I'm
good
trying
at,
to figure out
doing
life.
all of the things and just dissecting things, mentally and physically, just dissecting the nitpicks of a situation. So it's really good to have you on the Soulutionary podcast because you're solutionary. I appreciate that.
Mm.
What else do you wanna tell us, though?
I think with the psychology thing, I would've pursued it, but it's
Still can.
heavy. It's heavy subject, going home with all those problems. Yeah, it's like I can deal with my family, I can deal with that, I can deal with my own stuff, but as far as dealing with other people, not
Mhm.
interested.
Mhm. I feel it. What about, what else is there? Sorry, I did have a list of things. Let's go to our list. Um, what about motherhood? I wanna get back to your motherhood.
About it.
How old is your son?
He'll be 4 next month, my little baby boo.
How do you juggle that in life? I know I've asked this before, but I really wanna understand, like,
I
how do
take
you do it?
I take every day at a time, one day at a time, and I put him first. I really do put him first. Um, Everything else comes second. Work even second. If something happens with him, I'm out.
Right.
So that's really where I'm at. I'm not the perfect mom. I'm nowhere near at all, and I try and I try to work to be a better
I was gonna say, what does it mean to be a perfect mom? Is that
just to
any
be
such
to hit
thing?
all the cues. Like, some people feel type of way about iPad. It gives me a second to myself. Imma use it, Imma
Really,
use it.
people feel some way about your child and being on the iPad?
Some people feel like,
When you know their child was
screen
on a
time is
video?
a sometimes they feel screen time, and I can understand because logically screen time all the time is not good, but to be able to give yourself a break, take it. I tell moms that have recently had babies, let the baby cry. If the baby is okay, let the baby cry.
Oh, you didn't go and jump to your son?
Oh, I did
Oh, okay.
110%, but you know how drained that left me?
I
You
didn't.
know, like, it didn't even allow me to give him time to bond with other people because I was so much like, "Just give my
Right.
baby, give my baby." And that's unfair. It does take a village. You need to allow people to help.
That is it. What do you mean by it takes a village?
Oh, it takes a village for you to even sleep at this point.
Mhm.
Taking care of a baby, it's the hardest job that I have ever done, ever, and it really takes people that support you, people that understand the way that you parent, because if you have people that come in and don't understand, they will try to overtake it or change what you do.
Oh, yeah, I think I did that a couple times. But that's only 'cause, I'm the mama bear,
Yeah,
so
you are. I
and
mean,
after raising you, I'm like, but you know better, though. You've taught me a lot about just having patience
mhm,
and, just, giving space,
mhm.
so
I think, it's really important that we understand that we are authority figures, but our kids are they're little
are you?
people trying to make their
Are they?
they are.
Huh.
So
It's
you
funny,
wanna
I see that in my
encourage that.
grandson, but I didn't see that in Yao.
But yeah, you wanna encourage the person that they're trying to be. Say,
Right.
"Hey, look, that's not the way it goes, but maybe we."
Which reminds me, how I'm a stickler about the ideology of having more children versus less.
Mhm.
And the reason why I just said that I didn't look at you guys that way because I'm having to divide my time, effort, and energy between 5 whole
I
individuals.
totally agree. I
So,
totally
does
agree.
that change your idea about having more children at a younger age, or
It changes my idea about having kids, period. If I personally, I do not really wanna have more kids. I think that if I pour an opportunity into my son, he would be a better individual, and like I've told you multiple times, I don't care if he's a doctor, if he's a lawyer, I just happy. I
Mhm,
want him to be emotionally stable within himself.
mhm,
You know what I mean? So that he's able to go into the world and be like, "That doesn't do it."
mhm. What do you do now to make sure that he's having those building blocks of emotional
Um,
stability?
I try to understand why he's upset because he will flip out about chicken nuggets being cold, right? So I try to talk to him and make him understand why this is the way that it is and that it's okay to feel the way that you feel.
Mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm.
But there's a better way around it, you
Right,
know?
right.
And
That's what I do with him.
I think if you understand what's going on, things don't become such a big issue.
Well, no, that's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. I know you guys don't like me going back to my road rage, but, me understanding, like, what we spoke about last week, me or 2 weeks ago, me understanding, like, the position in which I put myself in is the reason why we left early today, 'cause I knew that if I just cozied on in,
Mhm.
the stress wouldn't be overloaded for me,
Right.
right? So, I totally agree with you. I totally applaud you on that one, girl.
Having to
Where you get
yeah,
all this knowledge from? Who were you before
honestly,
this lifetime?
I don't know. I honestly, I sit with myself a lot, and I try to check myself a lot. Like, it's a lot of checks and balances. It really is a
How
lot
does a
of
22-year-old check this? Oh, what are you
um,
talking about?
so for one thing, if, like, I'm getting into an altercation with someone, and I usually don't because you know to me
Yeah,
to be
you
a
just
very calm person, but, like, in relationships, you might have growth. I'm like, how could I have avoided that?
mhm,
Even if the person still did what they did, what could I have done better? You know what I mean? And, like I said, I put that towards my future husband, because he's gonna love all that. He's gonna understand that I took all that work to get to be the woman that I am today.
facts.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I'm happy about that.
yeah.
Do you do any formal counseling?
I don't. I don't. I want to. I really do wanna go to do some therapy for myself, just because not so much I mean, there's obviously things that, traumas that I've had to work through, but also just growing up to be a Black woman, you know what I mean? And it's, like, really, 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 eye-opening to realize that the world looks at this like this is what I'm supposed to do, you You know what I mean? I'm supposed to have all this hardship. I'm supposed to be this person. I'm not supposed to ask for help. And that kind of bums me out a little bit, you know? Because it's how do I not be masculine if I'm not allowed to be feminine? You know? And that's why I try to balance.
It is a balance.
Try to balance. That's why when I say like I get angry, I try not to because I want to live in my femininity. I want to be like, okay, I want to be a peaceful partner. But I do not want to be looked at as an angry black woman. Like that is like my literally like my worst fear. I do not want to be labeled an angry black woman.
That's crazy that a 22-year-old woman says that. When do you think that you actually realize that, like that the whole act of being the masculine black woman?
I think after me and my son's dad broke up, when I really realized how much like, weight was on my shoulders and how much everybody was just get over it, do what you gotta do. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but when do I get to be like, you know,
When do I get to
when
be
do
a
I get
teen
to,
again, Mom?
yeah, when do I get to, when do I get to sleep during the day? You know?
Never, yeah, because you remember you were, yeah, this is my child. Her sister had nap. You like nap. You liked your personal time, so it was really amazing how you could set yourself aside and be a really good mom. Like your son is growing wonderfully.
He's the one that matters, you know? Like I'm not gonna say that I don't matter because I do matter. And you see, like now I do a lot more things that are for me, like massages, the things that I want to do. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing else doesn't matter. This world matters as much as my son. As long as he's good, as long as everything is okay with him, um, I'm happy.
Words of wisdom that I can give women your age is, again, like you said, you first. You are the only thing that matters. That's why I think when you became pregnant, I said that this is a choice of yours, right? You're going to have to live with this decision, regardless of whether the man stays around or not, right? So I wanted you to make sure that you took that into heart. I was being pushed,
Yeah,
but I'm glad that you made the decision for yourself because look who you've lost into. So always make a decision for yourself. I
exactly.
made the decision to have my first child not as young as you. You actually beat me. Thank you. You made things better. You are definitely a better version of me. And that's just a relief because you be hoping that your kids don't be worse than you.
Right.
So I'm blessed that I could definitely say that my kids are all of you guys are better humans than I was. So I'm glad that I was able to impart something on you. But also for women your age, um, it's just really about like I just want you guys to love
Yeah,
yourselves.
that's a really
Like
big one.
and
I wouldn't put up with half the stuff we do.
right. Like I wouldn't have been bamboozled into thinking that I ideas were golden, if I had the self-reassurance and the love for self. Also, to always find a mentor.
Mhm.
If you can't speak with your mother, like, we have pretty candid
Yeah.
conversations. Also, I would encourage you guys to have a mentor outside of your mother because there's things that I'm sure that you don't wanna tell me. Um, but it
I'm
seems like you
pretty
tell
open.
me
Yeah, I'm
everything.
pretty open with
I mean,
you.
you stopped me from telling you stuff. I'm like, "But no, hold on, that's not weird. This is how you got here." Um, um It's so funny that we go through that, but, yeah, I would definitely say just to put self first, know that your self-worth is everything. Find a mentor that actually believes in what you're trying to do, and find a mission in life. No matter where you're at, have a goal. Like, goals are the most important thing, and, I was talking to my godmother today, and she was telling me about, she was talking about rewarding yourself, and I was like you heard me sitting there, I was like, what are you talking about?" My reward is to buy everything I want anytime, and she's like, "No, you actually have to pull that back and start literally rewarding yourself for the metrics that you are achieving," right?
Mhm.
And I think I learned that from you too, just in, saving money and not just splurging money, on things that are not necessary. So I would definitely say mentorship, love yourself, and, Believe in yourself. And this walk of life is yours.
Yeah.
So you determine how you're gonna walk it.
Mhm.
You wanna walk it messed up, then you're gonna determine that it's walk messed
Exactly.
up. If you want higher education, then you're gonna want higher education. Nobody's gonna stop you from doing that, but you.
Right.
And all my faults are all stopped by me. You
Mhm.
know, all my problems. They're all because I didn't make good decisions. So I think that we
You
all
didn't make
should
decisions for yourself.
I didn't make decisions for myself, right? I'm thinking collective. I'm overextending myself to make sure everybody else is taken care of. We really gotta
And you
stop
really
doing
should
that.
only be doing that for
We
your
really got to
children.
stop doing that so we could really start to evolve and um, go forward with who we're supposed to be and be comfortable with our own rights because the social medias aren't going to stop.
Right.
The BBLs aren't gonna stop. The makeup isn't gonna stop. This pressure is only gonna get worse,
Exactly.
and as we get older, I'm just blessed that I'm of age and I didn't have to deal with you guys because I couldn't imagine you being a 45-year-old woman and having to deal with social media and the media period that you deal with, right? Um, Before we end, I just wanna ask you, what are some of your interests before I just tell me what are the things that Cece is interested in?
I do a lot of, like I said, candle making, outside of my job. I like to go trying new restaurants. I love anime, adventure.
Right.
I like to cook, I like to bake. Uh, I really like the old kind of ways of, living,
Mhm.
baking, cooking,
Right.
candle making, like, um, sewing, just
Yeah,
cool
all the
things.
things your grandmother likes to do, that's interesting.
Yeah.
If there was some advice that you could give women my age, what would it be?
I give women
I
your
mean, you give me a
age.
lot of advice, so don't act like you don't know.
'Cause I couldn't think of one that would be age specific,
Well,
Um,
for your mom, for me, what like
I would tell you, do better with doing what you outside of everybody, because at the end of the day, like I said, love will come. It doesn't have to come today, it doesn't have to come tomorrow,
right.
but I believe if you make your life so full, it
Mhm.
won't matter as it is
I
now.
agree. I totally agree.
So
And I
just do what you're doing?
well, how am I doing since I left California?
You're doing well. You have a lot more friends, you're a lot more outgoing, had a lot more business ideas and moving on, which I'm very proud of. Um, you've been really
I do it for
really
you.
well. Yeah.
I do it for my grandson.
Mhm.
I do it for the
He
future
needs
nieces,
those role models,
nephews.
yeah.
That's why that's where the tenacity you guys are my drive. If you say that your drive is your son, you guys are my drive to
Right.
make sure that you guys can see that anything is possible. Like, you don't wherever you are, like, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do in this life is yours, and you
Exactly.
can do it. I think we're done with this ending is done. I think we got 7 good minutes. There's all kind of noises on set tonight.
Mhm.
Thank you, executive producer. We did wanna give a couple shout outs though, because there's a few events that's going on this weekend or this month that I definitely need to make sure that our viewers are aware of. The first one is tomorrow. There's the hip hop 50th anniversary party down at Pier 62 at from 12 to 8. Some of Seattle's finest is gonna be down. Seattle's finest. I'm sure the Pacific Northwest is all gonna show up and give the tributes to those that mean the most to us, especially some of our artists that were here and have transcended into the ancestor world. I'm super excited to actually go out there and support that, so meet the Soulutionaries down there if you can. And there is, Doc Loves a Kid. Do we have his poster? Executive producer? If possible. So there's a free family event, Doc Loves the Kids Day. I believe this is an annual event that happens in Kitsap County every year. Free backpack, free school supplies. He also told me that there's gonna be food, drinks, games, face painting, a bouncy house, and this is all on August 26th. August 26th? August 26th at from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., and that is on 1748 Northeast Riddle Road in Brim. I believe that is actually at his studio. Oh, there it goes. Oh, look at that, how cute that look. Look at you, executive producer, putting things up while we still on the screen. I like it. Thank you. So here you go. Make sure you guys go and support. You guys have backpacks, school supplies, please go drop it off to the brother. Here is the other one, the Friends of the Waterfront of Seattle Hip Hop 50th anniversary. There's festivities going across the globe for hip hop because this is the 50th anniversary of hip hop. I don't know who came up with that number, but we can figure it out Saturday tomorrow at 12, from 12 to 8 at Pier 62. That's on the waterfront. That means it's gonna be chill. It's gonna be cool. We get to actually be around some of our iconic. Yeah, my favorite artist is gonna be performing, so I'm super excited. And we also have this one. We have the Uplifting Love first annual event, creating a brighter future. When is this? I can't see the date. Oh, September 9th, 2000 and this year, September 9th this year, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And that is here in Bremerton I can't see the address, but if you guys can, please take down the information. Oh, I gotta be there though. First annual fundraiser. Who is this by? Hi, our executive producer and his lovely daughter. Are we doing show and tell? Where's my pictures? Oh, sorry, I forgot. He is running for candidate. Forgive me. I forgot our lovely producer. No, let me back up. Our lovely executive producer is running for a seat here on the city council in Burlington.
Whoop,
So
whoop.
I know, whoop, whoop, we got friends in high places. So please make sure you support him. All the donations, please look at letmarwancameron.com. This brother is actually doing it, and he's about us. As you see, he is giving us this platform. So make sure you go like, share, and subscribe. We will be back with you next week. And guess what? Next week, I actually have another special guest. I'm bringing on people that mean a lot to my life. People that have changed my life in some way for the next couple weeks. So get ready to hear some great stories. So make sure you tune in next Friday. And I love you, child.
Thank you for
I
having
love
me.
you, child. Thank you for having the day off and agreeing to be here and just
Of course.
having a candid conversation about everything and nothing at the same time. I know that my executive producer is like, you need to be on cue, but I like the candid conversations. They give us transparency, I think, and we can just talk about whatever. So this is your platform. Like I tell everyone, whenever you want to come on, please do. We will promote your candles as much as possible. So if you do a commercial, I'll put it on for you. If you do a PDF, I'll put it on for you. I know. Oh, what are you doing with your boxes? I mean, your
The
tell the
subscription
world.
boxes.
Right.
I'm trying to transform into doing subscription boxes. It'll be a monthly candle for $25. Every month will be different. It'll give me a space to put my creative outlook onto. I'm really, really excited about it. It
Let
should
me
be coming
get
out
your
next month.
candle. Let me get the one you already made.
Okay, this is one of my favorites. It's not the favorite. I should have brought a new one. Like fire.
Let me see this again because we did try to light it one time on camera, but I want you guys just to see the details. This girl puts her time and effort into her beautiful candles, and they always smell so good. She also does well,
Custom
she
labeling.
does custom labels. She also does do custom orders still.
Yes, I do custom orders. I'm trying to move into businesses that want to have candles, and I will produce them for them.
Okay.
You know,
So she's do retail on the candles. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, love.
of course.
Let me shut this out. I appreciate all of you for being here tonight and those that tune in later. This podcast is really for us, about us finding solutions, finding ways to just get by. I'm honored today that you guys get to spend a couple times with me and my child, my mini me, one of my mini me's, one of the ones that I'm proud of all of them, but she's the one with the most on her shoulders right now. So, um, I just wanted to say thank you and that I love each and every one of you, and give a shout out to the conduit, give a shout out to our executive producer, and make sure you go and support him. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.
My soul sisters, no matter how near or how far, you are invited to a platform where we uplift, encourage, and motivate you to be exactly who you are. Soul ties, soul tribes, solutions, and soul infusions. Come join us as we overstand and undo the divinities that have been placed amongst us on this very land. So what can you expect? Crown checks, temperature checks, microphone checks. Wait till you see what's next. Welcome, soul